Awesome. While you're coming in, drop me a quick line where you're coming in from. Give me a thumbs up for the video. Don't forget about that. Really, really important. We have an interesting topic today. We're going to talk about critical employees and if they are good or if they are bad, if they are important for a business, if you shouldn't have them. I want to talk a bit about this. Obviously, not directly crypto related. It's something that came up every Monday. We have an exec meeting here at 10x. And we went through a list of critical employees in our company. And I kind of spoke up a bit because I felt there's a bit of a misunderstanding about critical employees. And so I wanted to share that with you and kind of give you some ideas, maybe for those of you that are also in a business, or maybe you are trying to be a critical employee, and you should maybe take this a bit by heart. So let's first define what a critical employee is. Well, it depends, right? But so for us, a critical employee is that if we lose that person, the business pretty much wouldn't function anymore. So a critical employee is in charge of a process or is in charge of something that, if that person is not here, even for, let's say, a few days, everything would go down. We're not talking about someone not being here for, let's say, quitting and going away, and obviously this being a setback. Just talking about, being gone for a couple of days, and that's a critical employee. I'm putting aside here, let's say, founders or some really high execs, where many times it's quite difficult to replace such a person. I'm just really talking about employees, right? Team members in this case. And many times people believe that they want to be a critical employee. So they want to be someone that's completely irreplaceable, and they want to be someone that is so vital to a business or to an organization that without them, nothing would function anymore. And this reminded me of a good friend of mine who had an ex-girlfriend, and he always prided himself that without him, this ex-girlfriend couldn't function. She wouldn't have any money to do it with this. Without him, she would be nothing. Without him, he wouldn't be anywhere. And so he basically made himself critical for her. Without him, she would have not been able to do literally anything. And here's the big problem. He did that because he was so insecure that he built up all these things so that he became critical to her. He wanted her to want him, not because he was so awesome, but because of some really vital, basic things. And this brings me to the employees part. And I'm just kind of taking a small detour here. Now, what happened in their relationship was, at some point, she figured out how to kind of get these vital, basic things going, and she didn't need him anymore. And since he never focused on being outstanding and being really great and delivering so much value, but always focused on how can I do something that I'm critical, at some point she figured this out, and then she left him. And then in his next relationship, he understood this and he did this right, and now they are really happily together, and this is actually working well. So what does this mean? Well, in a business, if you have critical employees, there's two parties who are doing something wrong. On the one hand, it's the company itself, so founding team or execs, who actually don't make sure that there are extra ways or extra paths, so that people actually are not, that people don't become critical. If they drop out, this would be way too dangerous, right? But the other thing is the employee himself or herself. Many people think they want to be critical, just like my friend wanted to be critical for his ex-girlfriend. The problem, though, is if you as a team member, as an employee, and this is really relevant for you now if you're working in a company, but then it's also really relevant for someone who basically employs people. You need to be so awesome that at any given moment you could be replaced. But no one wants to replace you because you're so outstanding, and everyone wants you to be there because even though in theory you could be replaced, it is so difficult to do it at the level and the excellence that you are doing it, that everyone wishes for you to stay. And this is at the end how I would love to see any dream team member. And this is something I could really recommend to any one of you working in a company to trying to be this way. Try to be sure that you are not vital, that if you are out for a week or 2 weeks, that everything falls down. Because actually you did a really shitty job if this is the case. There should be extra ways and there should be fallbacks. But try to make sure, if possible, that you become so essential and so great that whatever you're doing, people don't want you not to be there. And this is something I can really kind of give to you. And this is kind of my opinion about critical employees. Being a critical employee is really bad. You shouldn't be a critical employee. Obviously, there's always a company fault, and then there's the employee's fault. You don't want to be a critical employee. You want to be an employee that's outstanding, that a company never wants to get rid of because you deliver so much value. And this is, I think, the key concept. And you should try to do it in any aspect of life, not only at work. So let me know what you think of this. Let me know in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe to the channel. And with this, have a good evening. It's midnight here, so late evening, but I wanted to get this out. Here you can see in the back, I had a bit of an overview. We got this for our 3rd anniversary. Really nice gift. So have a good one. See you at the next video. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.